First trip to the NCAA tournament since 2019. It was the 2020-2021 season when Cal went 1-16. You could see a slow but steady climb to a 25-win season this year.
And it's about culture, 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 and that's why Cal is here on the biggest stage now. Right pieces, right time, right fit, and Cal Bears have been doing nothing but winning this season.
Mississippi State did not make it to the tournament last year. They were in the tournament 2 years ago, won a first four game and a first round game. Bulldogs in black, Bears in white, opening tip controlled by Mississippi State. Denim to Shields will go to work for State.
And Eric, the matchup to watch is number 0 in white, Michelle Onya against Medina Okot for Mississippi State, number 15 down low.
The Shields on the drive, got half a step, just couldn't get the basket, and the rebound controlled by Michelle Onya. As we take a look at the starting lineups, brought to you by Capital One. Kayla Williams runs the point, native of Los Angeles, played at UCSC the last 2 years. Offensive rebound, and Onya can't get the putback, and Okot has the rebound and handoff to Jordan. Jordan on the turnaround, a little too strong. They're starting five to Shields, Jordan, Debrisha Poe, Medina Okot. Nia Russell getting the start here today for Mississippi State, number 4. So that's a change here for Mississippi State. Her first start since January. She'd been coming off the bench since the middle of SEC play. Russell to Okot, no. Creamy Lee back the other way.
And both these teams want to push with pace. The Achilles heel for both programs this season, unfortunately, has been turnovers. So really look at this as a possessions game. Who can take care of the ball and exploit the other team's defense?
Williams looking inside. Suarez couldn't get it. Onya with the putback, no. Slow start from the field for these two teams. And it's picked up by Jerkayla Jordan.
Well, just like in our previous game, both these teams have been off since the first week of March. They've got to get their legs back under them.
Here's Russell, veteran player, spinning, hanging. That won't drop. Teams are combined 0 for 9 from the field so far. It will stay with Mississippi State. Mississippi State's last game was against Ole Miss in the second round of the SEC tournament. Lost by 12. They had 21 turnovers in that game. It led to 20 Ole Miss points. And the last game for Cal, Christy, they lost to Notre Dame, ACC quarterfinal. 28 turnovers. They had 19 in the first half. So that will be the number, as you mentioned, that we'll be tracking most closely here today, turnovers.
So this is where rest does a team good, right? We're going to be optimistic that both these teams can play a clean game here today.
Still looking for our first basket. Suarez has it. Good, versatile player, all-around game. We'll put it on the floor. Score inside, outside. Onya with the catch, and we'll look for our first points of this game from the free throw line, as Onya will shoot 2.
Well, Eric, as you were talking, and Mississippi State was getting ready to inbounds that pass, head coach for Mississippi State, Sam Purcell, just looked at his team and said, calm down. They're a little sped up right now. He wants them to get under control.
There is the Mississippi State head coach in his third season, 66 wins, third straight 20-win season in Starkville for Sam. 19 years as an assistant coach, 9 with Louisville, most memorably. And Onya. Okay, so it's been a couple of weeks since these two teams played. It's been 30 minutes since the last game. There was no lid put on the basket, right, between games? Sharman Smith, 6th season as Cal's head coach, 18th season overall as Cal after an assistant.
But Eric, I think one thing right now for both these teams is they wanted to get to this stage so badly. It was the goal from day one for both programs. You just see that they're playing a little tight right now. They just got to get their legs under them, slow down, and get back to just playing the game.
Here's Debrisha Poe. Can't get it. Okot, finally, first points of the game. Medina Okot making her NCAA tournament debut in her first season playing for Mississippi State, the junior from Kenya. Very impressive skill set for this post player.
We're already seeing both teams able to get on the glass because of rotations. Neither team's doing a great job so far of containing dribble penetration.
Okot with the steal. Russell will launch a 3 and get it. The grad student from Baltimore spent the last 2 seasons at Kentucky averaging 11.5 points a game. As I mentioned, mostly off the bench in the last several weeks, but starting here today.
Mississippi State wants to try to disrupt Cal on offense. Cal's going to spread the floor. The X factor for them, I think, is Suarez because she can create mismatch issues.
Second turnover for Cal.
And for Mississippi State, it's the assist from Jerkayla Jordan all the way cross court because the defense was sitting in the paint. So Russell just spots up and knocks it down.
Substitutions for Mississippi State. Sophomore post, Quinera Montague will come on. And Chandler Prater, who had been the starter in the second half of the SEC schedule, she's on number 5. Here's Montague.
And that's one thing Sam Purcell said yesterday. He believed he had the advantage in terms of bench play. He wanted to try to go at Cal, wear them down, and make them go to their bench.
You know, another thing, too, and you just touched on it a little bit before, for Mississippi State, you know, and Sam talked about it yesterday, they've been in March Madness mode for a while now because they've been a bubble team for weeks. Needed that win in the SEC tournament to ensure they be here. So they've been playing with their backs to the wall for a while. Great start here for Mississippi State. After the slow start from the field, they have found their rhythm, and they're on top 6. Jordan averaging 16 points a game to lead the team in scoring. Onya, Montague there with the defense. The handoff to Jordan. Russell for 2. Prater, good fight for the rebound. Montague got in there. Onya goes down, and a tie-up possession arrow will give it to Cal. Destiny McFall will come on for Mississippi State. So again, we're seeing State go to their bench early here, rotate a handful of players through, and Cal yet to go to their bench in the first 5 minutes.
Well, Cal averages 10 points in bench play a game. That is 335th in the country out of 353. So it is definitely an advantage for Mississippi State. Now, it's not just about playing players. Can those players make the most of their minutes?
Kayla Williams, she can score. And it's going to be a 3-second violation, I believe, and another turnover called on Cal. That's 3 already.
Couple of set plays, trying to get Onya touches down low. She just hasn't been able to get the ball to fall through. She is critical to Cal's success if she has to be able to stay on the floor.
Russell will head to the bench. Poe back on for Mississippi State. McFall threw it away. That's the first turnover for Mississippi State. They turn it over on average 17 times a game. They're even in margin. They're a +2 in margin in wins, -3 in losses.
And it's what Mississippi State can do on the flip side. Can they create their own offense from the opponent's miscues? That's when Mississippi State is at their best.
So I mentioned last trip to the NCAAs for the Bulldogs 2 years ago. They beat Illinois in the first 4, Creighton in the opening round before falling to Notre Dame by 5 in South Bend. And another turnover for Cal. Sloppy start for the Bears in their first NCAA tournament game in 6 years. Jordan, it's what she does so well, can stop quickly, create a shot even though she's given up some size amongst the trees. Leading inside for 2 is Montague.
And Eric, all of these offensive rebounds right now for both teams are coming off of rotations because they're getting beat off the bounce.
3 offensive rebounds so far for Mississippi State. Creamily was shut off. 4.5 to go in the first quarter. Suarez showing the handle. Just couldn't get it to drop. And I think that's last touch by State. And that will get us to a media timeout. All Mississippi State in the opening minutes here at USC. All Mississippi State here in the early going in Los Angeles. Let's welcome in the third member of our team, Holly Rowe. Holly.
Well, for Mississippi State, they missed the NCAA tournament last year, and Sam Purcell has talked about their motto for this year is to own it, own the mistakes, own what didn't happen, but also that it is written. It has been written that they would be back in the tournament because they started off so well, 13-1. He has had a great season, and Jerkayla Jordan has said, sitting home last year, the disappointment of how they finished the season has been driving this team all season long, and here they are off to a good start in their first appearance.
And Holly, Sam got emotional talking to us yesterday. They had a viewing party at his house, and he said to see the joy on Jerkayla Jordan when their name was announced, he was tearing up. He was so emotional because he wanted it so bad for these young ladies.
Tough shot. Twydale beating the shot clock. That's the first field goal made for Cal after an 0 for 7 start. Prater on the drive. Can't get the roll, and Onya's got the rebound. Yolanda Creamerly is the leading scorer. Here she is. That's going to be an illegal screen called on Martha Suarez.
Well, if you're going to be in the NCAA tournament, sometimes you just got to get lucky. Well, Twydale stays with it off of the fumble and kisses it off the glass. And then Martha Suarez, illegal screen right in front of the official. Easy call.
5 turnovers for Cal. Remember, they piled up the turnovers against Notre Dame in that quarterfinal game. If it wasn't for the turnovers, it may have been a different result. They ended up losing by 9. They were up by 6 in the third quarter to a team in Notre Dame they had lost to by 39 in the regular season. Gives you an idea of how Cal has played this season, battling back and comfortably in the field as an at-large selection out of the ACC.
Well, Cal is never out of a game because of how well they shoot the three. They're averaging 9 a game, and so many times, as we see all the time, shooting is contagious. So they see one go down, and then someone else starts getting hot.
What is Mississippi State doing well against Cal defensively?
Ball pressure.
Because they've only attempted 1 3 so far, Chris.
They are running them off the three-point line, and this is what Cal has to do. They've got to take that pressure and use it against Mississippi State with some back doors. But right now, the ball pressure Mississippi State is applying is just disrupting the offensive flow for Cal.
DeShields will bring it up for States. Here's Jordan. Russell back on the floor. Ocott rolls to the basket. Everything but the basket. Suarez, here's a rare open look for 3. Just the second three-pointer attempted. Cal has made 294 threes this season. That's a single season record. Jordan step back for 3. A rebound for DeShields. I'd like to see her and Williams go back-to-back for who's a little bit taller, but DeShields not the tallest person on the court. She just got no board.
But DeShields might have the biggest heart. She just plays so much bigger than her 5'5" frame.
She has to launch for 3 with the shot clock winding down. And getting a hand in there was Kayla Williams for Cal. And here she comes across half court with inside of 2 to play in the first quarter.
Not sure I would go under that on-ball screen with Millie if I'm Russell.
Williams, no. Good positioning by Ocott to get the rebound.
Both teams are getting shots at the rim, and they just can't convert.
And a whistle as Russell's going to get called for the foul as she got tangled up with Suarez. Well, we have a team in Cal who's making their first tournament appearance after a 6-year drought. George Mason never appearing in the NCAA tournament until tonight, 7:45 Eastern time on ESPN2 against Florida State. Tania Latson, of course, outstanding player, leading scorer in the country, number 1, and number 2, Juju Watkins.
Well, I think there's so many great storylines in this year's tournament. I think one of the best, though, is 6 teams making their first ever appearance, including George Mason.
Creamerly gets a look for 3, still looking for that first three-pointer, and Russell's got the rebound. Final minute of the opening quarter here at the Galen Center. Russell. Jada Noble on the floor for Cal. Poe, outstanding three-point shooter throughout her career, 40% from beyond the arc. Struggled in the SEC tournament. She was 1 for 10 from outside the arc in the 2 games in Greenville. Good take to the basket around Ocott, and a 2 for Twydale.
Well, Twydale knew that the defender was going over the top of that screen, so she curled it tight and was able to get all the way to the rim.
Shot clock is off, so State can hold for one. Prater. Poe will launch another three. That's well off the mark after the make a moment ago. Time here for Cal with 5 across half court. Great job by Poe getting back defensively. And then stepping out of bounds is Cal. Loladona on the floor. So it'll be Mississippi State ball. Half a second to go. They'll just inbound it. Great D here by Poe.
And Poe missed the shot on one end, sprinted back to make sure Cal didn't get the last easy look of that quarter.
Russell gave it a shot. So Mississippi State up by 7 at the end of one quarter here at USC. Slow start shooting for Cal, 2 of 13 from the field in the first 7-point game, heading to the second. Our first game here at USC, 22 points. I love the Juju fans, by the way. My little friend there with the
I thought you were just
ear
going to skip
protection.
over that. I was like, how do you not address him?
Did you see how adorable?
Yes.
But we had to talk about the bun for a second. 22 points. What impressed you about Juju's play? Now, she had an interesting day. She was shaking out her left hand a bit. She had rolled her left ankle as Montague starts the second quarter with a bucket for Mississippi State.
I think it's what all great players do. Was it her best? No, but she was resilient. She stayed in it. And what I love most is that she picked up her defense as well as the rest of SC and really solidified what they were trying to do, and then just got out in transition and scored easy buckets.
The winner of this game to take on Juju and USC Monday here in Los Angeles. Off the miss by Cal. They continue to struggle from the field. As McFall brings it over, Poe can't hit for 3, and it'll be Cal basketball. That to me looks like Kiki Iriafin. I'm just going off hairstyle.
I'm going off of everybody wanting a selfie with her, so I'm going to say yes, that's Kiki.
And then there's a fan wearing the bun too, a little bigger than the Juju bun, but it's a thing.
Can we talk about our guy with the shirt and the... Is that a necklace?
Talk about whatever you want, yes. I mean, your analysis isn't just restricted to what's happening on the court.
Oh, good to know. Maybe I'll tell you that necklace.
There is shot for 3, and that drops down. So 0 for 4 for Cal from beyond the arc in the first quarter, but they get one to drop here. It is Twydale with her 94th made 3 of the season. She has 7 of the 8 Cal points.
And her decisions on offense have been really good so far, knowing when to drive, knowing when to spot up.
Speaking of drives, that's Anaya Russell on the drive. She's got 5.
And so what does Mississippi State do? Now McFall just trying to make sure Twydale does not even get a touch in the half-court offense. And gets caught for grabbing her.
Oh, back into the stands. Okay, so there's Kiki. Is that the Hate Bruins guy? Oh, can't we just get
make love, not war,
We
dude.
have
Come on.
2 number 1 seeds in Los Angeles. UCLA will be playing Richmond tomorrow. Can't we just get it?
That's a fashion statement, though. Love, hate, whatever. That's just a fashion statement.
I was at Pauley Pavilion the other day. I did not see if there was a Hate Trojans guy in the stands there. I'm going to assume there is. Creamily can't get the 3 to drop. Offensive rebound. Onya had it knocked out of her hands. Montague controls it and hands it off to Jerkayla Jordan. Jordan for Montague. And an offensive foul is going to be called on Montague. She goes down grabbing her left knee. Creamily got run into. She was checking for blood around her nose, and Montague is still down. Let's see, just ran that left leg into Creamily and just brought that foot back, and then when she went to, it looked like just replant the foot, Christy, she was just bracing herself as she went down and grabbed for that left knee right away. And quickly out of the court, the athletic trainer for Mississippi State, Taylor Pitts, is out there with Sam Purcell, other staff members. They're going to help Montague up. And no pressure on that left leg. Trying a little as she is helped off the court. Sophomore from Atlantic City, averages 4.5 points, 4 rebounds in 12 minutes a game. Rotational piece for this Mississippi State team, as you just talked about. They really want to use that bench. She's played quite a bit here already in the first half.
Well, I know this was a key part of Sam Purcell's game plan, especially from the post position. He wanted to keep running bigs at Onya. He does still have Kayla Thomas to bring off the bench as well, but I asked him yesterday specifically about the rotation. He says, Quinera's been giving me everything that I could ask for. She's the first post off the bench.
4 points, 2 rebounds already today, 2 of 2 from the field. Pressure in the backcourt for Mississippi State. Oh, saved by Prater up to Okot. Great defense for States. Can they turn it into points? Okot inside. Won't drop. They didn't convert that time, Christy, but already 7 points off of 7 turnovers for Mississippi State.
And Okot, 1 of 5, and every one of those shots have been right at the rim for the post player for Mississippi State.
And that's going to be a reach on Prater. Could that be an indication, too, of a couple of weeks off into the NCAA tournament, season on the line now every time you play, that you get a little tight around the basket?
And I think it's also mental emotional. You have one goal all season long, and that is to make the tournament. Can you shift the mindset now? And now it is truly about one game season. Now it's not about being here. It is about winning to stay here.
Saw Gabrielle Abigor was on the court. Now she heads to the bench. Prater picks up her second personal foul. Three-pointer is off the mark, and a rebound for McFall. Taken away, though, by Suarez. Suarez saw an opening on the baseline, and she'll earn a trip to the free throw line.
Suarez already has done a little bit of everything. She's brought the ball up against pressure. She has posted up out of transition. She's gotten on the offensive glass for Cal. She is critical to being able to handle the ball pressure and just create so many mismatches for opponents.
Here is the senior from Spain in her second year with Cal after starting her career at Tennessee. And the first one good for Suarez. Coverage of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship continues on CBS, TNT, TBS, and True TV. For more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. Kayla Williams back in for Cal.
I think if you're Sherman Smith, you are ecstatic right now. Haven't played well. You're down 6 and you're shooting 17% from the field.
14% on threes, 1 for 7, 3 of 18 overall on twos, but it's a 6-point game. Jordan on the turnaround. Suarez has the rebound, and things starting to turn Cal's way a little bit.
Jada Noble's doing such a great job defending Jerkayla Jordan right now in the half court.
Williams looking Onya's way in the high post. Okot there defensively, and those long arms are there for the steal. DeShields for McFall. Into Okot. Another one in close that Okot can't get. That one was challenged, and here comes Cal.
Mismatch down low out of transition. Suarez once again, but instead of being able to score, another turnover.
9th turnover for Cal.
And Eric, one thing Cal is starting to do is force a switch. And so whether it's been Suarez or Onya getting to the block with a mismatch on Mississippi State, they just got to be able to convert and make Mississippi State pay for the switch.
Again, I point out that Notre Dame game, Christy. 28 turnovers against Notre Dame led to 28 Notre Dame points. Cal is 315th in the country in turnover margin. 297th in turnovers a game. It's been a problem all year, but they've still managed to win 25 times.
You know, and I asked the coaching staff about that yesterday, and they're like, we talked about it, and then we seemed to get a little bit tight, so more turnovers occurred. Then we tried not to talk about it. And
what's the best way to go about it is the question.
I'll just say, as a former coach, it's hard because you really need that true point guard on the floor who understands time and score and pace of play. Like sometimes it's just a matter of Cal getting sped up and just putting the ball in your arm and saying, hang on, we got this.
Three-pointer is off the mark from McFall, and it's a shot clock violation. No contact on the rim, and Cal gets a stop. Mississippi State, after putting 12 on the board in the first, a little slow going here in the second quarter, just 4 points on 2 of 8 shooting.
But we see on any of these dead balls, Mississippi State extending their pressure, and they're trying to face guard whoever's running point and just make someone else have to initiate offense against full court pressure. And Sherman Smith said one thing we worked on all week long was this, and that's Martha Suarez handling the ball against full court pressure.
Inside, Onya with the catch. Okot with the block. Russell, never shy about taking it to the basket, will earn a trip to the free throw line.
And unfortunately, that's going to be a second on Jada Noble.
Noble is the top defender for this Cal team. Didn't play against Notre Dame due to illness. Played at Washington the last 4 seasons. And with the 2 fouls, she will head to the bench midway through the second quarter. Here's Anaya Russell. Had 10 points against Ole Miss last time out, 29 minutes off the bench. Last 3 games, 16 points a game, 16 of 33 from the field. Part of the reason why that she was put back in the starting lineup by Sam Purcell.
Well, Anaya Russell's talent has never been in question. One of the most explosive players off the bounce, can score, can post, can defend any position on the floor. Just a versatile player. It's just been the inconsistency of her play throughout her career, but this has been the best version of Anaya Russell that we have seen this in her 5th year.
She has 7 of the 18 for Mississippi State, back to an 8-point advantage for the Bulldogs. 21 wins on the season. They finished 10th in the SEC with 7 wins.
And Cal's got to be able to get the ball inside to Onya when she is posting up. She does such a great job of carving out space.
Jordan knocked it away from Suarez. Another turnover for Cal into double figures now with 10. Still more than 4 minutes to go in the first half. Poe, good shooter, open, no. Onya owns that rebound and hands it off to Williams. Williams. That 3 won't drop. 1 for 8 for Cal. Again, it's a big, big part of their offense. They make on average 9 a game, which is 15th best in the country.
But here's the thing, Cal's not going to stop shooting the 3. They just need to see one go down.
Russell is fouled by Creamily. That's her first, and that will get us to immediate timeout. It comes with 4:04. Well, Sam Purcell talked about flipping the script in Hollywood. Says everyone wants Cal and USC in round 2. Well, so far so good for states. Right now, let's send it over to Holly Rowe.
Well, as his team was running to the sideline, Sam Purcell met them about half court, and he was yelling, "I smell blood, I smell blood." He's seeing the defensive pressure really disrupt Cal right now. The players were active, really talking in the huddle, and Cal, they can come back. They're a really good three-point shooting team, but right now the length and size of Mississippi State and their defensive intensity is a big problem for the Cal Bears.
Kayla Thomas coming into the game for Mississippi State, bringing some size. Holly, Russell can't get it, and the rebound for Onya. That's her 10th rebound already.
I was going to say, Suarez blew that play up. It was an elevator screen for Denham to Shields, and she just blocked the gate. And so it just blew that complete play up, and that's why you saw the forced shot by Russell.
Drive to the basket, finish with the left by Lulu Twydale. Sophomore from Australia has been the scoring star so far for Cal. She has 9 of their 12. DeShields slams on the brakes. Can't get it to drop. But Poe's got it. No reset of the shot clock. Entry for Thomas. Jordan steps back for 3. That's well off the mark. And almost grabbing it was Poe, but it'll be Cal basketball.
Lulu Twydale has just been so good for Cal. She's getting run off the three-point line, and she's taking advantage of it, turning the corner, getting all the way to the rim, and finishing.
Also carrying
Back over to you, Holly.
We saw Quinera Montague go out with that knee injury, limping off the court. I am told that from their medical staff that she is able to come back into this game. It looked like a knee-to-knee, so they have done an exam in the back hallway and locker room, and she is cleared to return.
That's good news. Thank you, Holly. Left with 7:35 to go in the second quarter. Scored 4 points in her time on the court. Here's Williams for Cal. 2:45 to go before halftime. Suarez on the drive, off the mark and picked up by McFall back into the game. Williams got tripped up. McFall splits defenders, couldn't get the finish, and it's grabbed by Thwydale. Thwydale will bring it back out. A reset for Cal.
She missed Onya there for a minute because she turned her back to the basket.
And a foul's going to be called on Okot on the reach. Oh, no, it's Poe. So Poe gets called for the foul. Okot was in the area as well.
And if you're Mississippi State and Cal has been struggling to score, this is the last thing you wanted to do is just put them at the free throw line.
That's a second personal foul on Poe. You can see Montague working on the bike. You just heard the report from Holly a few moments ago, cleared to return. We'll see if or when she can get back on to the floor. So here is the fifth year, Michelle Onya. Career game number 139 today, her 66th starts. And Okot with the easy rebound. But then a turnover, mistake by Mississippi State, and Cal trying to take advantage of a state miscue. Jordan, turnover by Cal. Jordan's got great speed, goes to the basket, leans in, finishes, and one. Jerkala, as part of her celebration, we'll watch it here again. Might have been a tee here on the tail end.
Over the defender, doing the celebration.
Yes, Christy, you're right. So she's doing the celebration, but because she turns to eat over the defender, it's going to be a technical foul on Jordan. She'll have to shoot a free throw. There'll be 2 free throws coming up for Cal here. Holly.
Well, Sam Purcell is yelling at the officials right now and saying she is gesturing to the TV camera. We're trying to make this fun for viewers. She's not taunting an opponent. That is done to the TV camera. You see his impassioned argument right there, and he may have a good point. She's just trying to have a little fun out here.
I mean, honestly, Sam has been encouraging his team to have fun while out here, but yeah, she looked down, Holly. I mean, I understand what Sam's saying, but it just looked like, and you could see the official looking over and seeing, if I see anything towards an opponent, that's going to be the call.
And Sherman Smith's still arguing about the foul in transition. So these refs have no good place to go right now.
So Jordan finishes off the three-point play. What a finish, by the way, at the rim by Jerkala, and one. But then the technical called on Jordan. So that means Cal will go to the free throw line. Well, Thwydale's into double figures now with 10. Outstanding from the free throw line, 87%. And it'll be Cal basketball after the free throws. So Jordan will come out of the game. That technical goes into the books as her first personal foul. And it'll be Cal basketball, 1:47 to go before halftime.
I would love for Cal to do an isolation, do something for Onya, and try to get her going on the offensive end.
Instead, it's Thwydale with the three. Suarez was the first one to the rebound. Fight for it. Possession arrow belongs to Cal.
Great effort there by Suarez. It was a great job of tracking that rebound.
Winner of this game takes on USC Monday here at the Galen Center. USC with a 46-point win over UNC Greensboro. Williams throws it up, won't drop, and Okot has the rebound, and Onya gets called for the foul. Oh, Juju hasn't left the building because Jaden Daniels is here.
Well, she started to leave. I was watching her, and then I think she saw Jaden.
So Juju's like, so you know all those amazing things you did with Washington? That was awesome. And Jaden's probably like, you know those amazing things you've been doing the last 2 years for USC? That's awesome.
You know, I'm going to stop you right there. I think it's just Jaden telling her all the great things he's been watching her do.
Oh, no. Juju would definitely give Jaden
It's off season for football.
due.
I'm sorry, it's off season. Jaden's just talking about Juju right now.
I don't see Juju with the iced up hand or the iced up ankles. That's a good sign. We talked about it in game one, rolled her ankle and was shaking out her hand. I'm sure she got some ice in earlier, but she can socialize with one of the top players in the NFL. And also scout. I mean, you're looking at this game for the team you're playing next.
Way to think
Right,
like
Coach?
Way to think like a coach.
Right, Coach? Dreamily been trying to find the range and finally knocks one down. She was 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. 38% on the season. That's her 96th made three. And it's a 5-point game. Controlled by McFall. Jordan on the bench right now. Their leading scorer for Mississippi State. McFall, beautiful. Okot finishes this one.
McFall came off that on-ball screen knowing that she was going to look for Okot. Tremendous pocket pass to her big.
The Whitedales had a good first half. Looks for the assist here. Onya shut off by Okot, but sticks with it for her first field goal.
This is what I was expecting. The last two trips, the bigs, using them in different ways to get them paint touches and paint scores.
McFall holding for a final shot with the shot clock off in a 5-point game. Wants Poe to come set a screen. McFall behind the back, and a foul's going to be called on Suarez. And that will be her second.
McFall comes off the high on-ball screen, realizes that Onya rotates over. She's waiting for Okot to get a step deeper to give her that pocket pass. Tremendous play by the point guard, just waiting, so patient. Delivers that ball right on the money.
Then the foul will send McFall to the free throw line to shoot 2 with 3.6 to go in the half. Redshirt junior from Philly, outstanding from the free throw line at 81%, has played really well against ranked teams, especially in SEC play. Here's Russell on the floor. Defensive substitution here for State, and they'll bring the pressure into the backcourt, try to make it tough on Cal with 3.6 to go. And they do. DeShields gets the steal. Poe to beat the buzzer just off the front rim. But another turnover for Cal before the half ends. 12 first-half turnovers, helping Mississippi State to a 7-point lead.
And this is what Mississippi State does. They want to disrupt and turn you over to create easy scoring opportunities.
Jerkayla Jordan with 5 points. Let's hear from her head coach with Holly.
Coach, your team came out really early, set the tone, kind of punched them in the face. How did you get them to come out that way? After missing the tournament last year, they were right ready to go today.
There's nothing I'm going to have to say, all right? We're still upset about last year, and I told them the best way to make up for last year is to come out and make a statement today. I thought we did that. Now, if we'll settle down and go up with 2 feet for a layup, all right, we can get some separation. But I couldn't be more proud of the first half, but we know that this is a great team in Cal, that they can put up points quick, so our defense has got to win this game.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're a 3-point shooting team. They can get back in games quickly. So what do you say in the locker room right now to warn them about that?
Listen, it's 40 minutes and you play 20. We got 20 more, all right? And we got to be dogs, but most importantly, Mississippi State Bulldogs. And if we do that, I like our chances.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you, Hail State.
Holly, he just delivered that looking at the camera like his team was watching in the locker room. So they should know what's going to come from Sam in the locker room at halftime. Nia Russell with 7 points to lead Mississippi State in scoring numbers from the first half. Dwidell with the 11 in the first half. Paint points, edge Mississippi State. Steals, edge State. Points off turnovers, edge State. Cal, thoughts out of that first half, Holly Rowe?
Well, Coach Smith is frustrated with their turning the ball over. She's like, we have just got to take care of the ball. That's providing too many opportunities for Mississippi State. And she said, then just calm down. You know, they haven't been in the NCAA tournament in her 6 years there. This is their first time, all of the young ladies on this roster. And she just said, we have not made point-blank layups. Our best players aren't shooting well. We just have to settle in, and then we've got to get better defensively. You saw that was just too easy right there.
Too easy for Nia Russell indeed. She's got 9 points, and Mississippi State is on top by 9, marching their largest lead, and Russell comes back and gets the steal.
And that was going to be my second point for Cal, is they somehow have to get Michelle Onya touches and get her going offensively.
13 turnovers now for Cal. Poe. Hand off to Jordan. Jordan giving up a lot of size to Suarez. 5 on the shot clock. Russell with 2 on the shot clock. Russell throws it towards Ocott with a pass when she needed to shoot. Turnover Mississippi State. That's their 8th.
The good news for Mississippi State, though, dead ball turnover so they can extend to their full court pressure.
That's going to be a traveling violation because Suarez is not allowed to run the baseline off of a turnover. You can do so after a made basket, but not in this case. It was a turnover on the shot clock violation.
Dead ball turnover, so you have a spot throw in, and Suarez tries to run it, and immediately the whistle blows.
So just after Charmin Smith gets done telling Holly about eliminating turnovers, they throw one away in their first possession, and then they have a mistake on the baseline on the inbound, trying to get it into play. Jordan, rebound for Williams. Dwidell, Suarez will launch a 3. That one's going to miss the mark. And the shooting woes continue from outside the arc for a Cal team that shot 35% from the field entering the NCAA tournament from outside the three-point line. That's 4th in the ACC.
Well, and I appreciate the Cal staff. They're just staying positive with them. Ball didn't connect. Immediately, you saw every coaching staff member just clapping their hands saying, we're okay.
Russell feeds it inside. Ocott left alone. I think we're going to get an early timeout from Cal. We will. Nothing's gone right for Cal out of the locker room, and as a result, Mississippi State has stretched it out to an 11-point lead in the third quarter.
Well, Nia Russell has come to play here in the third. She got the easy 2 to start the quarter, and now after the on-ball screen, realizes the mismatch and feeds Ocott underneath. I think if you love post play, you'll be tuned in tomorrow night's K-State Kentucky game. And if you love Juju, as most of the people in this facility do, they just keep lining up to get selfies and autographs.
Hey, Juju's not going anywhere. Jaden Daniels isn't going anywhere. They're hanging around for Cal and Mississippi State.
They know Cal can get hot at any minute.
I mean, celebrity row here is Juju, Jaden, Holly, Christy.
I don't think my
Quite the ensemble. I'm throwing you in there. I'm throwing you in there. There's a whistle out of the timeout. This whistle's going to go against.
They got her for clamping down on that rebound.
The clamp. Oh, Holly, yes. Oh, no, okay. So we've got a frame. Holly's there. Then there's Juju and Jaden. Holly really appreciates the noon start time here on a Saturday at USC because she was over at Westwood yesterday for the doubleheader at UCLA. That's going to be a travel on Jacayla Jordan. And Holly, I'm going to assume you're going to be over there tomorrow for UCLA in Richmond, then back with us on Monday.
Holly's learned all the back roads.
Unless there's two.
Here at UCLA.
Has Holly been cloned? That's got to be.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm really excited for the UCLA-Richmond game tomorrow. Richmond star Maggie Dugan had 30 points and 15 rebounds. And, UCLA got off to a little bit slow start. So I think that's going to be a pretty competitive game. I can't wait to watch it tomorrow.
And Holly, hats off to Aaron Roussel and what he has done. He's won at every level. University of Chicago. Then he went and he keeps adapting his system to his players. And Aaron just keeps winning.
That's going to be a turnover by Mississippi State, thrown away and picked up by Williams. Williams to Suarez. Cal could use it, don't get it. Onya with the rebound. And on the turnaround with the left, beautiful finish by Michelle Onya, who now has 5. First points of the quarter for Cal. Russell. And that's going to be a trip called on Onya. That'll be her 3rd personal foul.
Well, Michelle Onya already has 11 rebounds, none bigger than this one. We hope this gets her going offensively. Knows that she needs to create a little space over the taller Okot. Reverse spin move to get it to go.
Onya will stay on with the 3. Suarez will take a seat. Jada Noble picked up a couple of fouls in the first half on for Cal. Excellent defender defending Jerkayla Jordan. Okot gets the pass and gets the finish.
Great patience by Okot to gather herself and take that up strong.
9 points, 8 rebounds for Okot. Her biggest game this year was at Vanderbilt, went for 21 points, 23 rebounds in a critical double overtime win for Mississippi State, helping them to punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. Here's Noble. Daly, that's going to be 3 free throws coming up. Jordan ran right into the shooter for Cal, and 3 at the line for the 6th-year from Greece. I think Okot's been opening eyes right from the opening tip of the season in November, Holly.
Well, she's had a very unusual journey. She's from Kenya. She grew up with her parents that are farmers in that country, and she had to apply for a visa 5 different times. On the 5th time, it was the charm, but she wasn't able to join the team until the day the season was starting, and they reported for work. It was very difficult. She was supposed to go to another university, and Sam Purcell got the job, got involved in that mix, and so here she is. But it's been a very quick turnaround for her getting accustomed to this Mississippi State team.
And Holly, in true Okot fashion, she reported to Mississippi State on that first day. The team was going through conditioning tests, and Sam says to her, just sit this out, rest, you're just getting off a plane. And she goes, no, Coach, I'd like to try it. She busted through every test and met every standard. Sam Purcell said, I knew I had someone special in that moment.
1 of 3 from the line for Iolana, trying to find her rhythm here today. It's been a struggle, averaging better than 14 points a game, just 4 points so far.
Well, we know that Cal's struggling offensively, but here's the kicker. They're only down 10. It's not like their defense has failed them. Mississippi State just can't take advantage.
Russell couldn't get the bucket, and here comes Cal. Back out to Noble. Rolling to the basket and putting it in for 2 is Onya.
Great on-ball screen by Onya. That's what opened her up on that roll.
Seven points, 12 boards for Onya, playing with 3 fouls. Inside of 5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Poe and Russell. Russell takes it at Onya, too strong, and pulled down by Noble. The door is ajar here for Cal, down by 8. Make it 6.
That was a great read off of the on-ball screen there.
First points for Williams, averaging 11 a game. 5 average in double figures on the season for Cal. It's been a struggle offensively today for the Bears. But as Christy mentioned, even so, struggling with turnovers, struggling to connect on hoops. They're within 6, and Sam Purcell doesn't like what he sees right now, and he's going to take a timeout with 4:09 to go in the 3rd.
Well, Kayla Williams has been setting her bigs up off the off-ball screen, but this time realizing that no one stops her, pops for Cal.
Cal coming back in this game, now down by 6. They have faced adversity this season. As a matter of fact, in February, they lost by 39 to Notre Dame, and they needed to flush that loss to the Irish.
And so what Charmaine Smith did was she told her team to come in on that Monday. And what you see is this piece of art, because she said we were just heavy. We didn't need to practice. We didn't need to be away from one another. We needed to kind of flush the bad juju. So they took those paintballs, and she said any negativity, any bad thought you have right now, throw it up against the wall. And since then, Cal has gone on 6-2.
Yeah, they've thrown a few things against the wall here in the last couple of minutes, and it's starting to stick a little bit, Holly Rowe.
Well, they were very positive in the huddle just now. Charmaine Smith telling her team, this is our time right now. They can feel the momentum switch, and they're starting to get some traction. One other thing to keep your eye on, Michelle Onya is out right now. She was a little slow going off the court, bent over, hands on knees, just trying to catch her breath. The athletic trainer saw to her on the bench. And Charmaine just told her backup that's in the game right now, listen, I need you to go in. You have got to give her a break. So I'm getting the feeling that she's got something going on right now.
Yeah, she's had to work hard, too. We just see her going to the water bottle. It's been warm in this building, too. It's very warm for game number 1, so you wonder a little dehydration, cramping could be a part of it. We'll see. We also have 4:05 to go in the third quarter, and still got a long way to go in this game, so you got to try to buy some time now. With Okot at the free throw line.
And I love the set out of the timeout by Sam Purcell, just isolating Okot, trying to get a quick score, instead gets to the free throw line.
Okot with 10 points and 8 boards, Christy.
I was going to say, Gabrielle Abigor has such an upside for Cal. So she's no fifth year, but this young lady can score, she can defend, she's so strong.
Wearing number 33, working in the post now against Okot. We have not seen Quinera Montague after leaving in the second quarter with an injury for Mississippi State. That's deflected by Jordan into the hands of Okot. Another turnover for Cal, that's 16. Their season average is 18. Poe wants to go one-on-one, and she will head to the free throw line to shoot a couple. Second foul on Creamily.
Eric, I got to tell you how impressed I have been with Lulu Twaddell. Just a sophomore, but her leadership continues to shine for this Cal team. Numerous times grabbing veteran players and having a one-on-one discussion with them.
Poe at the line, one more to come for the 5th straight year. Every NCAA Women's Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Pressure in the backcourt for Mississippi State. Now they'll drop back as Williams brings it across half court.
That was supreme respect for Williams' full court speed, just backing off to try to keep her in front of them.
Williams showing the speed to take to the basket, couldn't get the finish, and Okot has the rebound. Needs some help, she's being swarmed, and she touched it last.
Kayla Williams just doesn't give up after the loss. Jada Williams on the other side, and you see the deflection off of Okot's hands, off of her knee, out of bounds.
They work a play for Creamily, and look at Okot on the closeout with the block on the three-point attempt.
I thought she was just going to take it.
Crazy sequence, out of control is Jordan, it won't drop. And it was last touched by Mississippi State. What does a 6'10" wingspan get you? This.
The closeout ability of Okot, the body control not to jump into the shooter, amazing. And then to keep the ball in bounds and try to give her team a chance at a score.
That one comes up short, and Okot's got the rebound. Double-double for her, 10 and 11. It's her 11th double-double this season.
Right now for Mississippi State, shot selection is paramount. Once you get to the rim, read what the help side defense is doing and find the highest percentage look.
McFall, that wasn't a high percentage shot, but she finished. Junior from Philly gets it down. Her first points of the second half, back to a 9-point lead.
Miscommunication there.
Look for the extra pass, and that's going to be a foul called on Abigor. This was a tough take by Destiny McFall on the other end.
Well, I did say get a high percentage look, and a layup is just that. Destiny McFall just hangs in the air. Degree of difficulty, 10. Gets by her defender, gets by the slap in.
Come on, that is not considered a layup. Not all layups are considered, it's a paint point.
Not all layups are created the same.
Not all layups
but
are
technically
created
that is a layup. Now, a layup neither you or I could do at our age, but a layup.
I mean, that was a tough one. Okay, so it's Abigor picking up her second personal, and here is Jerkayla Jordan, 69% at the free throw line. First points for Jordan here in the second half. Cal's done a good job on the leading score for Mississippi State, averaging 16 points a game. Went for 40 against Mizzou this season. It's gone for 20 or more 11 times this year. Good response by Mississippi State. 7-0 run. Remember, they took the timeout because Cal got back into the game, but Mississippi State has answered out of that break. Onya's back in the game. Soft touch, another one that drops for Michelle Onya, who has 9 to go along with 12 rebounds. Prater, somehow, some way it got to Okot, who puts it in for 2 more.
I do appreciate that it's about creating off the bounce, and Prater realizes that Onya doesn't really help, but she gets caught in between land. She's looking at Prater. She recognizes it, kicks it across to Okot for the 2.
Prater picked up her third personal foul. This is the largest lead of the game for Mississippi State. On top
Overload.
by 13. Onya inside. Okot gets called for the foul. That's her second.
And that was a great pass by Lulu Twidell, too. Led her because the defense was fronting.
So good to see this for Mississippi State. Montague coming into the game. Okot's going to get a rest with the quarter coming to an end. Remember, Montague had a clash of knees, 7:35 to go in the second quarter, and left. She's got a sleeve on that left leg as Onya heads to the free throw line. Double-double for Michelle Onya. That's her 12th of the season. She had a streak of 3 straight double-doubles come to a close against Notre Dame. She had 13 points all in the second half. Battling foul trouble. That's been an issue for her this year, fighting foul trouble. 3 fouls today for Onya, 12-point game. Russell steps back for 3. Couldn't get it. Montague got a hand in there. Onya trying to control it. Montague gets down on the deck. And it was last touch by Cal. It'll be Mississippi State basketball. I think since we had a few bodies on the floor and it's getting late in this game, we got to get a little cleanup on aisle 1.
With a Swiffer.
Final minute of the third. Prater on the drive. Williams there defensively. She kicked it out of bounds. 4 to shoot for Mississippi State.
Key here, does Mississippi State realize that they did not reset the shot clock?
It'll be Russell to trigger the inbound. That'd be a player to watch for getting the pass back here for Mississippi State.
Oh, they're trying to lob it up to Montague.
Russell tried to find Jordan. It was last touched by Cal. 3 on the shot clock now. This time it's going to be McFall putting it into play. Up top to Montague. Montague lost the handle. Grabbed by Williams, who tries to throw it up into the front court. And it's going to be another turnover for Cal.
Number 18, and that's a great example just how Cal is sped up. They're trying to do too much.
Love the leadership by Jada Noble. You mentioned it before, Charmin Smith. This is a player-led team when it comes to just this leadership. It doesn't have to all come from the bench. And you saw Noble just trying to keep Kayla Williams locked in this game after turnover number 18 for the team.
And you see the 1-3-1 for the first time from Cal here this afternoon.
What's this mean for Mississippi State?
Well, Sam Purcell's trying to get his team into an offense, and they were really slow to listen and get set up.
Set up, sped up. Turnover by Mississippi State. Williams showing the speed to the basket. No, 3 seconds to go in the quarter. Fight for it, and that will do it for the third quarter. Mississippi State outscored Cal 15-10 in that third quarter. Fourth quarter to come here in SoCal. A matchup with USC on the line. 22 paint points for Sam Purcell's team. What's at stake here today? A win in the NCAA tournament, a game against USC on Monday. Is there anything else at stake for the Purcell family in this game, Holly Rowe?
Well, it's a cute story. He has 3 little girls who are so cute. They are so invested in everything that happens in Dad's coaching career. So he picks out a game each year that's a goal. And if they win that one game, the girls get some kind of present. So one year it was a trampoline after they got a win over Tennessee. When they beat LSU, they got a pool. They were supposed to get a trip to Hawaii this year, but Riley told me we lost to Texas by 4 points, so now we don't get to go to Hawaii. But I'm going to lobby for Dad to see if maybe if they got a win today, maybe the trip to Hawaii could be back on.
I mean, you get an NCAA tournament win, you're going to Hawaii. Montague with the basket on one end. There's the Purcell girls. Yes, Hawaii. Are they yelling Hawaii? Treehouse, pool, whatever they're playing
This
for.
is where I know the girls were growing up, because earlier it was a treehouse, and now you see that they're growing and they want Hawaii.
Three-pointer is off the mark. Cal continues to struggle from outside the line. How about that previous trip for Cal, the defensive play by Jerkayla Jordan to get the block, and they turned it into offense on the other end for Montague.
It was an overload for Onya, and the staff for Mississippi State was screaming overload, and that's how Jerkayla Jordan read it so quickly and got there in time.
Russell was fouled by Noble.
Well, Sam Purcell is, yes, head coach. He's girl dad. He is also the biggest cheerleader for the Bulldogs. When Montague got this one to go, the head coach was loving every minute of it.
Remember, it looked for a moment like Montague wasn't going to be able to come back into the game. She was helped off the court in the second quarter. And then Holly reported that it was just knee on knee. She was cleared to come back. And the foul's going to be called on Mississippi State here as the officials sort through it. I think it's Russell. Let's wait for the call. They may go to the monitor here.
Yeah, I saw that the officials confer, like monitor, and I saw him shake his head, so I do believe we're going to it.
I wonder if it's to confirm who picked up the foul or if there's a potential upgrade beyond a common foul to an intentional foul.
Ruling on the court is going to be a common foul on number 4, Black. Crew is looking to see if it fits the criteria for an upgrade.
All right, Chuck Gonzalez does fill us in. They're looking to see if they're going to upgrade it. We'll step aside from Los Angeles back in a moment. And during the break, we had an upgrade to an intentional foul. Let's take a look.
You see Anaya Russell loses the ball, and then Jada Noble, and then you see her wrap around. And I asked the official for clarification, just excessive, and she said yes, that's why we upgraded.
So it's an intentional foul on Russell. That means it's going to be 2 free throws for Cal. Sam Purcell, after getting the word from Chuck Gonzalez, so it's going to be 2 free throws here for Cal and possession. So if you're trying to get back into a game when you're down by 14, this is the quickest way to do it. Make a couple at the free throw line and then max out the possession after. Those are the first points of the second half for Thwydale. Remember, she had 11 in the first half. 3-point shooting has been an issue for Sharman Smith's team. Just have not been able to get things going. They're 0 for 5 this half from beyond the arc, 2 for 15 for the game. They can shoot themselves back into a game very quickly, but they just have not been on target tonight.
Well, and when Suarez, just checking back in, has not played this second half, she can help spread a floor for Cal to hopefully open up some of those outside shots.
Yeah, she's been on the bench for a while, just has 2 fouls. Entry pass, good catch, but deep under the basket, and some frustration from Onya after the miss. Jordan hasn't, will slow things down.
And Onya's defense, she got led underneath the basket. Just need to have more touch on that pass because she had the seal.
Prater. Prater, a little too aggressive. Nothing there, and Suarez has it for Cal. Fourth quarter here at USC, the winner to take on the Trojans Monday here in LA. Creamily just cannot find the range. Second chance here for Cal. Creamily now off the bounce, will look for the 2. That won't drop, and it's knocked out of bounds. It'll be Mississippi State basketball. Cal can't believe it. Officials kind of looked at each other. There was just a look from one of the officials to the other, but they're just going to move down the other end of the court. Sharman Smith is wondering why wasn't there a consultation between the two. Saif Esho is the official who made the call and now trying to get Smith to back up a little bit. Russell with the finish. We've watched Nia Russell for years. She gets that look in her eyes that she's going to take it to the basket. Prater got there to take it away, and then it was last touched by Cal, and Creamily has to be pushed back by her teammate Noble as she had things to say to the lead official Chuck Gonzalez, who kind of gave the indication, just calm down here a little bit.
Well, and that's the second time as soon as Mississippi State scores, and it's a difficult bucket for Nia Russell. But Prater immediately jumps up in defensive position and forces the turnover, and I cannot say enough how impressed I am with the leadership of Jada Noble.
Okot inside for 2. Medina Okot with 14 to go along with 12 rebounds. I think a warning may have been given to Sharman Smith on the bench. I was watching the official, who will get official indication if we need it, but a warning could have been given to Smith there. Creamily is going to get fouled, taking 3 again by Okot. We've seen this a couple times today from Mississippi State.
What's the respect that Mississippi State has for Cal's three-point shooting? However, they've got to get in a stance and not just leave their feet and continue to jump into Creamily and the other Cal players.
Tough to see from that replay. Was Creamily completely behind the three-point line, or did she have a foot on the line? I think that's what Mississippi State is wondering about right now. It's not something that you're going to go to the monitor for.
No, but I did see the alternate official just raise up 3 fingers to her partner on the court.
Yeah,
so
clearly
she was
behind
3.
the line. I think that's what Mississippi State was wondering about, but there's no doubt after seeing the replay. And Creamily just cannot find the range. She's 1 of 11 from the field. 1 for 4 from the free throw line. That one goes.
Well, Creamily is an interesting story. She comes from Heraklion, Greece. She came to the United States and started her career at the University of San Francisco. She said, I had a really good coach there that taught me how to shoot. And now she's the active leader in career threes in the NCAA. She struggled today to get her shot off against a bigger, stronger Mississippi State team. She is a great shooter. She's proud of her Greek heritage and how she's been able to maximize that here in the U.S.
Oh, just almost getting the steal was Kayla Williams, jumped into the passing lane and knocked it out. Still more encouragement. And you just mentioned it before, Jada Noble, every dead ball, every chance she gets, she is just trying to keep her team up in this game.
And this is one thing I'll say about Cal. We talk about the culture and how they have turned things around. Give Sharman Smith and her staff so much credit. They went to the portal, but they did not. They were very specific in what they were looking for. They had to fit the culture of Cal. They had to fit the team, and they had to fit the offensive system of Cal. And I think Jada Noble is a tremendous example of why the portal is good and how it can benefit both sides when you do your homework.
Here's Thwydale.
Overload
Lots it
again.
inside. Yep. Onya was fouled by Prater. That's going to be her fourth. So she's the first player in this game for either side to pick up 4. Still a lot of time left, 6:33 to go. Back over to Holly.
Well, Jada Noble's leadership has been impressive today, but I'll tell you what else is impressive, her artistry. She has got her own business where she hand paints custom shoes. She's wearing one of her creations right now. But I'm telling you, these are next level. She's got NBA stars who are some of her clients, and she's done them for her teammates. She's done them from players on opposing teams. Look at these shoes. I love the one on the bottom right. This is a Mambacita Kobe Bryant Mamba creation. She is an incredible artist. I would really ask you to search her out on Instagram because I have never seen a college student with such incredible artistic ability, and not just shoes, but her other art that she's creating. Just a huge fan of hers, and I promise you I will be getting one of these custom orders as soon as the tournament's over.
Pressure in the backcourt. Thank you, Holly, from Cal, trying to get things going defensively. Russell as they break the pressure with the layup.
And pressing is not something that Cal does much. Only 49 possessions on this season, and that time they don't get the rotation, and Mississippi State made them pay.
You know, one postscript on the Jada Noble story. She's from Spokane. This, of course, the Spokane Regional 4, so she would love to head back home. There's a turnover from Cal, and taken away by McFall. Foul called on Cal. 20 turnovers now for the Bears. Take a look at today's game track brought to you by Invesco QQQ. Paint points. Mississippi State almost 40 a game. They're up to 30 right now. That's been a big part of the story today. They've continued to look to attack on the inside and finish on the inside, and the three-point shooting for Cal, it just isn't there. Shooting in a building they've been in the past when they were a member of the Pac-12 just has not been comfortable. Okot has it denied by Onya.
And Jada Noble stayed in that defensive play. She got hit in the jaw. She's still touching her lip because I think there's some blood there. But just toughness from Jada Noble.
Williams, Onya, Okot there defensively. Onya can't get it. Nothing has come easy, and its last touch by Mississippi State. It'll be Cal basketball. McFall disagrees. Jordan coming back on for State as Russell will check out.
I got to believe this is just to get an eye Russell, a little bit of rest around the 5-minute.
5:22 to go in the quarter. Montague will come on. More of the same here as Okot's going to take the long way. They won't start play, Medina. She's just trying to be respectful. So she'll get a little rest around that 5-minute media timeout, you would think, as well.
Here comes the flex screen, trying to get Onya the ball in the block.
You know, Montague has held her own defensively and away from the ball.
We've seen this a couple of times where Mississippi State is switching those screens around the perimeter, and that time it was Suarez that Denham DeShields got matched up on, and she got caught for the hooking.
So DeShields gets called for the foul. Suarez gets her first points of the second half, and just her first field goal. She was 0 for 7 before that bucket. Suarez averaging better than 13 points a game, tied for second on the team. Inside of 5 minutes to play.
And you see the switch by Cal off of that on-ball screen.
Into the hands of Jordan, defended by Thwydale. Jordan hangs in the air, gets the basket and the foul. She'll get back to time to eat, but this time she'll just stare down her bench instead of anybody from the other team.
Well, you learn and you grow, and when you're Jacayla Jordan, you know you're best off the bounce. Fumbles it a little bit, has the body control and the leaping ability to turn around and score.
Keep feeding her because she is the top scorer this season for Mississippi State, trying to get into double figures at the free throw line right now. Gets the roll. 2,332 points for Trikayla Jordan. She has been a bucket since her first day on Tulane's campus in New Orleans. Now closing out her career with Mississippi State. Trouble. Cal almost turned it over again. Back to Thwydale. Leans in for a three.
And Cal's going to immediately try to extend this game. They're getting to the full court pressure once again.
Poe. Soft pass, but the Shields had it just in time. The feed to Jordan, inside to Montague against the double team. Probably should have kicked it back out, but here comes Cal. Cremilli, defense wasn't set. You can't let a shooter like that get out of the box if you're Mississippi State. She has struggled all game, but she can heat up in a hurry.
Here comes the trap.
And a foul as DeShields tried to pass it away.
Eric Cremilli crossed half court and recognized immediately. No one picked her up, so stop, pop, got the feet set, and just nothing but the bottom of the net.
I just want to clarify, the timeouts were called earlier, so we don't get this 5-minute media timeout. So if Sam Purcell wants to get Russell back into the game or Ocott back into the game, he's going to have to call a timeout. Well, here comes Ocott standing up right now, so the foul will get the top post for Mississippi State back on the floor with 3:47 to go. Another foul called on Cal. So Ocott on for Montague.
Cal has held a Mississippi State team to 52 points, who came in today averaging 76. But the one area that they have consistently struggled throughout this game is just containing Mississippi State off the bounce. And that's forced fouls. That has forced dump-offs to Ocott, and a big part of why Mississippi State has had 32 paint points.
Usually very good shooting team. Mississippi State 46% on the season, good for 6th in the SEC. 36% today, but here's what's helping Mississippi State. They've held Cal to 26% from the field, and Cal is 3 of 19 from beyond the three-point line. It's been the defense that's made the difference for Mississippi State. Onya is fouled by Ocott on the inside, and that'll be 4 on Ocott.
Well, that was a great play call. We've seen the overload where they're trying to lob it to Ocott, but they set a weak side back screen, and that's how she got the ball going to the rim.
So Onya will go to the line. Ocott with 4. She'll stay on the floor. Two players in double figures for Cal. Onya with 13. Thwydell with 13. Add 1 to Onya's total. Here's the pressure again for Cal. Into the hands of Jordan. Jordan throws it up to Ocott. Ocott needs to hand it off. Trouble. Thrown away.
It was the right idea to throw it up to Ocott across the court. However, Ocott just needed to take a deep breath and find the open person. Just put way too much on that pass.
Jada Noble will check out of the game. Suarez in.
Offense, defense for Cal.
Yeah, you get the feeling Cal gets a 3 here. They get a, well, instead it's going to be an offensive foul. Illegal screen set by Thwydale. And again, the turnovers, the undoing for the Bears.
And honestly, Eric, this was supposed to be like a ghost screen, meaning you don't even set the screen, but you just make the defense freeze a moment, and Thwydale just runs into the defender.
That's her 4th personal foul. She'll head to the bench. Noble back on quickly for the Bears. Cross to DeShields.
And Cal switched up the presses. We've seen more of the 2-2-1. That time it was a run and jump, but handled well by Mississippi State.
Here's McFall waiting for the Ocott screen. Remember, Ocott's got the 4 fouls. Has to be careful here in this action. Short hop for DeShields. 5 on the shot clock. DeShields. McFall launches for 3. Too strong, but she's got the rebound. No need to attack. Instead, she is attacked and fouled. And that will send her to the free throw line.
I think really important for the Mississippi State guards right now to understand time and score. You're up 11 points. You get an offensive rebound like that, the clock is your friend. Pull it out and work more of it.
Prater's going to come into the game for Mississippi State. Remember, she has 4. So Poe will head out. And Destiny McFall will go to the free throw line. One of 2 for the junior. And a timeout being called here by Sam Purcell of Mississippi State to get his defense set with 2:42 to go in the fourth quarter. The winner to take on USC on Monday. Juju Watkins went for 22 points in the win for USC. Everyone, as you would expect, had a hand in the victory for the Trojans. It was their defense. When they turned that up in the second quarter, it turned the fortunes in that game, and UNC Greensboro just could not adapt to the speed, the size, and what USC was doing to disrupt things.
And when SC is going to be at their best, it is about pace. How do you establish pace? It's the defense. You get stops, you get steals, and then you just get out and run. And we saw that from the second quarter on from SC. It was a very different team than we saw in that first quarter.
Couple of anxious moments. Juju Watkins was shaking out her left hand repeatedly, especially in the first half. Had it taped at the start of the third quarter, ripped off the tape soon after, and then rolled her ankle, but came back into the game, so seemed to be fine. She was here signing autographs, hanging out with Jaden Daniels, so no concerns for USC heading into Monday's game against the winner of this game between Mississippi State and Cal.
Yeah, and this full court pressure by Mississippi State is just to force Cal to take more time off the clock.
And that's going to be an offensive foul. That free arm for Creamily got up there. That's her 4th. Turnover number 22 for Cal.
And I can't say this enough. They're down 12. With their three-point shooting, they're not out of it, but they must get a turnover here or they must get a quick steal. Time is not on their side.
And they can't afford to keep turning it over.
Correct. As a former coach, I'll say you can never afford to turn it over.
But with 2.5 to go, and then Mississippi State again. These are 2 teams. We talked about the team that could do the better job of taking care of the basketball was most likely going to win. It hasn't been pretty for Mississippi State, but it's been prettier than Cal when it comes to turnover. That's 17 turns now for State.
I think the million-dollar question now is, can Cal take advantage? Can they get a quick score here?
Still a lot of time left, and as you mentioned, with a 3-point shooting team, you're never out of it, but they can't have empty trips. They look on the inside. Onya can't get it to go, and Okot's got another rebound.
Mississippi State's done a really good job of running Cal off the three-point line.
Soft pass from DeShields to McFall. Cal scrambling. They get it across in time, does State. And now a reset with McFall. 2 minutes to go in the fourth.
And now Cal's just scrambling everywhere, trying to force the turnover. I wouldn't have fouled there with just the 9 seconds left at that point.
Late in the clock, right, Christy?
Yes.
And it's the 4th personal foul on Onya, so not what Cal was looking for right there. And it will send Prater to the free throw line to shoot a couple.
And I just saw Sam Purcell tell his guards, come to the ball. Because they've made a couple of soft passes. They've been really lucky that they didn't turn it over on.
Prater at the line, 33 of 38 on the season. First trip today. First point today for Prater, a grad student from Kansas City who played at Oklahoma State last season. So getting a taste of the NCAA tournament today. Inside of 2 to play and back to a 14-point advantage for State.
This is for Twidell. She was lagging behind the play, coming around 2 staggers.
McFall was there defensively, and Cal is wondering where the foul was because it was last touched by Twidell, and it will be Mississippi State basketball.
Yeah, it's off of Twidell. McFall got a hand in there, and I think that's what disrupted Twydell's vision of the ball. Goes off her hand.
Russell to trigger the inbound for State. Everyone in the backcourt right now for Mississippi State. Looking for Jordan, who gets a step on the defense and streaks in but can't finish. Kayla Williams was back there defensively to make it tough on her. Now Twydell turns it over. Picked up by Okot. Russell, no need to hurry across half court. Trying to dribble out of trouble and trying to force it into Okot and gets called for the offensive foul. What was the phrase you used before? It's one of my favorites.
Understand, time and score. No need. Mississippi State, even with Ja'Kayla Jordan going for that layup. If it had been uncontested, I have no issue with it. But because there were two players there, pull it out, work clock. Same thing for Anaya Russell.
Here's Suarez. Swings it over, finds the open shooter for three. Twydell was short, couldn't ask for a better look for a good shooter at 39% on the season, and a foul called on Cal, and it'll be Mississippi State at the free throw line with 1:10 to go. Suarez picks up her third.
More offense, defense substitutions for Cal.
As Noble heads off again, and Russell will step to the free throw line. Anaya's journey started in South Carolina. First 2 years of her career, part of that 22 title team. Kentucky the last 2 seasons, making her return to the NCAA tournament this year. 13 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists for the grad student from Baltimore.
Looks like Sam Purcell has Denham DeShields at the table, and he wants it for the shooter. And I got to believe this is to have stoppage of play, assuming Russell makes this free throw, to get his defense set to force Cal to take more time off the clock.
1:10 to go in the fourth. So Russell hits 1 of 2. That does give Mississippi State a chance to get DeShields into the game. Cal had 1 lead in this game. They are on top 1-0. That's it. Mississippi State went on a run in the first quarter, led by 7 after 1. Held Cal to 15% from the field in that first quarter. That set the tone, and Cal hasn't been able to recover. That's going to be a foul, sending Kayla Williams to the free throw line in the final minute.
Where Cal went on a 6-0 run. Sam Purcell calls timeout, and since then it's been all Mississippi State.
Noble will come back in. Looks like Poe's going to come into the game for Mississippi State. As Okot will head out. That's 5 on Okot.
Yeah, I think this is also Poe in, another ball handler against the full court pressure of Cal.
So Okot's line today, 14 points, 13 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 3 steals. Pretty good NCAA tournament debut. She won't love fouling out, but I know you've been impressed with her game right from the start of the season.
From day one, her wingspan, her body control, her decision making. Again, she is a post presence for Mississippi State.
Williams can't get the second one. It's DeShields who gets the rebound, and a timeout called by Poe, I believe, was the one. You get your veterans on the court late in the game, and that's someone who's always been a heady player for this Mississippi State team, Debrecia Poe. She's played a lot for State.
And Eric, that's an example of time and score. A veteran player understanding you can't afford to get tied up. You want to advance the ball because you're under a minute. Heads up play by Debrecia Poe.
So round 1 winding down here on a Saturday. Round 2 will heat up tomorrow. They'll be playing basketball over at Westwood. UCLA taking on Richmond. Great weekend for women's college basketball here in the City of Angels, with USC and UCLA #1 seeds hosting rounds 1 and 2. We'll wait and see the start time for Monday's game for USC. I would assume 7 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, but I'm not in programming, and I know the people in programming right now are nodding their heads saying, that's right, you're not in programming.
Again, now if you're Mississippi State, it's just about ball security because you know that Cal needs to foul.
Oh, DeShields tiptoeing, turned it over. Numbers the other way for Cal. Can they do something with it? Williams short. Onya, yes, and one. Well, you know Cal's not going to quit. They'll keep fighting here in this final minute. Chance for a three-point play for Onya. She's desperately trying to extend her collegiate career.
Well, it starts with Williams getting the steal, pushing it in transition. No one checks Onya, just up and puts it back in for the and one opportunity. And this is exactly what Cal needed, a chance to put more points on the scoreboard without more time going off the clock.
And a timeout's going to be called by Mississippi State. They can advance the ball to the front court in the final minute here. And it'll be a full timeout.
And that is Mississippi State's last timeout of the game.
We will get you to George Mason and Florida State at the Maravich Center in Baton Rouge when we're done here at the Galen Center in Los Angeles. George Mason making their NCAA tournament debut against the Seminoles. 11-point advantage for Mississippi State. Do they have a comeback in store over in that Cal huddle, or will it be on to round two for Jacayla Jordan and Mississippi State?
Well, the fifth-year player wanted to get back to the NCAA tournament in the worst way, and she's made her presence felt on both ends, as she has her entire career. 10 points on the day, but also the 3 rebounds, the 2 blocks, and the 4 steals. She made a Mississippi statement here in California.
Save that one for Monday, too. That's a good one. that one won't age poorly. That's a good one. I like it. 11-point lead right now for Mississippi State. You would think they just need to get in bounds here. We'll see how Cal plays it if they don't force a turnover here.
It's keep away time once you get it in.
It's Jordan. Will Cal foul? Well, they're looking for a steal, and a jump ball tie-up will keep it with Mississippi State. 26 on the shot clock, 33.2 on the game clock.
And Mississippi State is at a timeout, so if I'm Cal, I just try to get a 5 count here.
Once again, DeShields gets it to Poe. Poe is swarmed and tied up again. Possession arrow will, of course, give it to Cal.
Credit Cal. They have fought, and they continue to fight.
And they'll take a timeout to huddle up, advance it into the front court. Look, if you're Cal, you look at the clock, it's 30.4. You've paid for the full 40 minutes, so keep going. You get a 3 here on a play that you set up on a sideline out of bounds play. All of a sudden, it's 57-49. That's the math. That's what you're playing out here in that Cal huddle. You're still giving hope, and it's not just Jada Noble being a hype person. It's just like, let's try this. Let's do this. Let's stay in the fight.
You've got the best 3-point shooter in terms of makes and percent, or second best. You have the top 2, I should say, in the ACC, in both Twidell and Cremili. You get a 3 here, and I'm drawing up a 3 because of time and score right now for Cal with just so little time. You get a 3, you've cut it to 8 points. Mississippi State cannot call timeout in advance. You get a turnover, and you get another score. Things get really spicy in a hurry.
And we've already seen it, too. 2 tie-ups in a row as Mississippi State was trying to, hopefully, in their case, run out the clock. But Cal's not laying down here. An 11-point game with 30.4 to go. And just to reiterate the point, Mississippi State out of timeouts. Cal with 2 timeouts remaining. It will be Twidell to trigger the inbound. You would think it'd be either her or Cremili for the 3 here. First got to get into play.
Yes.
Cremili's got it. Jordan making it tough on her. Clock continues to roll. That's a force from Cremili from the outside. Prater tracks it down. And once again, Mississippi State in a little trouble, and a foul is going to be called on Cal. Twydale picks up her 5th. The sophomore from Australia has fouled out. Excellent sophomore season for Lulu. 6 points a game off the bench last year as a freshman, impact player as a starter.
She didn't recognize that she had fouled out. She was staying there. She was
Doesn't
still
wanna
trying to lead her
the
team.
NCAA tournament.
Absolutely. So impressed. Didn't go exactly the way she wanted today, but her decision making, her leadership, her future is so bright. Very impressed with this young lady.
At 16 against Notre Dame in the ACC tournament. Finishes the day with 13 today in the NCAA tournament in her NCAA tournament debut. Prater puts it away for Mississippi State at the free throw line. She makes a couple. 15 seconds to go as Cal brings it across half court. It will be Mississippi State and USC Monday night with a trip to Spokane on the line. Mississippi State dialing up the defense right to the final horn, making it tough. Suarez steps back and lets loose, and that will do it. Mississippi State wins it 59-46. They will take on the Trojans on Monday.
Well, I give it. It's all about Mississippi State's defense. It was disruptive. It forced the turnovers, and they found enough offense to get the win here today.